Min Yoongi stands at the crossroads of destiny, clutching a worn-out demo tape in his hands. The year is 2010, and the 17-year-old from Daegu has no idea that he's about to embark on a journey that will transform him from an underground rapper into one of the most respected producers in the global music industry. The basement studio in his hometown reeks of instant noodles and determination. Yoongi's fingers dance across the keyboard of his second-hand equipment, crafting beats that echo his frustrations, his dreams, and his relentless hunger for success. This is where Suga is born, not as a stage name chosen for its sweetness, but as an acronym for shooting guard, a position he once played in basketball before an injury redirected his path toward music. His early tracks are raw, unpolished diamonds waiting to be refined. The influence of American hip-hop legends like Eminem and Kanye West is evident, but there's something distinctly Korean about his approach, a melancholic undertone that speaks to the struggles of youth in a rapidly changing society. He samples everything from classical music to traditional Korean instruments, creating a sonic landscape that's both familiar and revolutionary. The rejection letters pile up like autumn leaves. Major entertainment companies dismiss his unconventional style, his introversion, his lack of traditional idol visuals. But Yoongi doesn't just survive these rejections, he transforms them into fuel for his creative fire. Each no becomes a verse, each closed door becomes a bridge to something greater. When Big Hit Entertainment, then a small company with big dreams, finally recognizes his potential, it's not just Yoongi who gets signed, it's Suga, the producer persona he's carefully crafted in the shadows of the underground scene. The transition from solo artist to group member seems like a step backward to outsiders, but for Yoongi, it's a masterclass in collaboration and creative expansion. The early BTS recordings showcase Suga's growing sophistication as a producer. He doesn't just make beats, he architects emotional experiences. His production on tracks like their debut single demonstrates an understanding of dynamics that goes beyond his years. The way he layers instruments, creates space for vocals, and builds tension through carefully placed silence reveals an intuitive grasp of musical storytelling. As BTS gains momentum, so does Suga's reputation behind the boards. Industry veterans begin to take notice of the young producer who can seamlessly blend trap influences with orchestral arrangements, who can make a piano sample feel both nostalgic and futuristic. His perfectionist tendencies, once seen as obstacles in the fast-paced idol industry, become his greatest assets. The studio becomes his sanctuary. While other members socialize or rest, Suga disappears into the creative void, emerging with compositions that push boundaries. He studies the work of legendary producers like Dr. Dre, Timbaland, and J Dilla, dissecting their techniques and incorporating elements into his own evolving style. But he never loses sight of his Korean identity, often incorporating traditional instruments like the gaegeum or incorporating melodic patterns rooted in Korean folk music. His solo projects under the August D moniker reveal the full scope of his artistic vision. Here, freed from the constraints of group dynamics, Suga the producer can fully express his darker, more introspective side. The production is more experimental, more personal, more willing to embrace discomfort. These releases serve as case studies in how producers can use their technical skills to amplify emotional authenticity. The international breakthrough changes everything and nothing simultaneously. Suddenly, Suga's production techniques are being analyzed by music students worldwide, his equipment choices are influencing purchasing decisions of aspiring producers, and his compositional approaches are being reverse-engineered by competitors. Yet in the studio, he remains the same perfectionist craftsman, obsessing over minute details that most listeners will never consciously notice but will inevitably feel. His evolution accelerates as he begins producing for other artists. Each collaboration becomes an opportunity to experiment with new sounds, new approaches, new technologies. He works with American producers, learning their techniques while teaching them his own. The cultural exchange enriches his palette, adding new colors to his already diverse sonic spectrum. The genius of Suga's production lies not in technical wizardry alone, though his skills are undeniable. It's in his understanding that production is emotional architecture. Every reverb tail, every compressor setting, every EQ curve serves the song's emotional narrative. He doesn't just make music, he creates environments where feelings can exist, breathe, and transform. His approach to sampling evolves from simple loop-based construction to complex layering and manipulation. He begins deconstructing samples so thoroughly that their original sources become unrecognizable, yet somehow their emotional essence remains intact. This technique becomes a signature element of his later work, the ability to honor musical history while creating something entirely new. The workaholic reputation that once worried fans becomes the foundation of his artistic authority. Those 18-hour studio sessions aren't just about quantity, they're about diving deep enough into the creative process to discover sounds that exist nowhere else. His insomnia transforms from a burden into a creative advantage, allowing him to capture the unique emotional frequency of late-night inspiration. Mentorship begins to occupy more of his time and attention. Younger producers and artists seek his guidance, and Suga discovers that teaching others forces him to articulate techniques he's always approached instinctively. This process of explanation and demonstration further refines his own understanding of his craft. His home studio evolves into a technological wonderland, filled with vintage equipment alongside cutting-edge digital tools. But the most important element remains unchanged, the chair where he sits, day after day, year after year, pursuing the perfect sound. The equipment may upgrade, the software may evolve, but the commitment to excellence remains constant. The pandemic years bring unexpected creative opportunities. Isolated from traditional collaborative processes, Suga delves deeper into solo production work. The isolation doesn't limit his creativity, it concentrates it. He begins exploring ambient textures, experimental sound design, and non-traditional song structures that would have been difficult to achieve in a group setting. Recognition from industry peers validates what fans have known for years. Suga has transcended his role as an idle producer to become a genuine creative force in contemporary music. Awards and accolades accumulate, but they pale in comparison to the respect he's earned from fellow musicians and producers who understand the depth of his contributions. His influence extends beyond music production into songwriting, arrangement, and creative direction. Young producers study his techniques not just for technical knowledge but for artistic inspiration. Music production schools use his tracks as examples of how to balance commercial appeal with artistic integrity. The streaming era amplifies his impact. Producers worldwide can instantly access and analyze his work, leading to a generation of musicians influenced by his approach to melody, rhythm, and sonic texture. His production style becomes a reference point in contemporary hip-hop and pop music, cited in academic papers and industry publications. Yet perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Suga's evolution is his continuous growth. Even as he achieves legendary status, he remains a student of music, constantly exploring new genres, new techniques, new ways to express human emotion through sound. The rookie who once struggled to afford decent equipment has become a master craftsman, but the hunger for creative excellence burns as bright as ever. Today, when Min Yoongi sits in his studio, surrounded by platinum plaques and industry accolades, he's still that determined teenager from Daegu, still chasing the perfect sound, still believing that the next track might be the one that changes everything. The evolution from rookie to genius producer isn't a destination, it's a continuous journey, one beat, one sample, one perfect moment at a time. His legacy isn't just in the music he's created but in the producers he's inspired, the boundaries he's pushed, and the proof he's provided that artistic integrity and commercial success aren't mutually exclusive. Suga's evolution represents more than personal growth, it's a testament to the transformative power of dedication, creativity, and the relentless pursuit of artistic excellence. The story continues to unfold, each new release adding another chapter to a narrative that began in a basement in Daegu and now resonates in studios, concert halls, and bedrooms around the world. From rookie to genius producer, Min Yoongi's journey as Suga stands as inspiration for anyone who believes that passion, persistence, and authenticity can overcome any obstacle in the pursuit of creative greatness.